important. With reluctance, a small fleet was dispatched to track the source of the signal, deep within the uncharted territories of space. They followed it into the abyss. Turning point reveal, the unthinkable, a warship from beyond the myths. As the fleet ventured deeper, there was an eerie silence, one that stretched for miles in every direction. No stars twinkled, no familiar signals pinged from far-off colonies. Only the growing signal, now undeniably clear, reverberated through their ships. And then, a sight unlike any they had ever seen. At the edge of their sensor range, a ship emerged from the dark, unlike any known technology in the galaxy. The sheer scale of it was enough to make their hearts skip a beat. It wasn't a warship nor a freighter. It was something else, something ancient. The War Council watched in stunned silence as the ship came into full view. Its massive hull, scarred and weathered, was covered in the blackened marks of ancient conflict. The ship was a testament to time itself, a structure older than anything they had encountered, a relic of forgotten ages. "This isn't possible," whispered the head diplomat, his voice trembling. "No civilization, no species could survive this long without leaving some trace. This ship, it belongs to the humans." But how could it? The human race was a myth, their history a fractured and distant memory. It was unthinkable, impossible. Yet here it was, a ship larger than any in their fleet, its mere presence shaking the very foundation of their beliefs. The signal they had been tracking suddenly stopped, as if it had delivered its message and now waited for their response. But what was there to say? The unthinkable had come to life. They had come face to face with the legends. The humans were real. Conflict/climax. Humanity strikes back. The myths come alive. In the hours that followed, the alien fleet froze in uncertainty. Their military minds had no plan for this. How could they? They had never once considered the possibility that the humans might still exist, much less possess a ship of this magnitude. Then the unimaginable happened. A transmission, received from the human ship. The voice that crackled through their speakers was calm, unwavering, and disturbingly familiar. "This is the Terran fleet. You've been summoned." The tone was one of cold, overwhelming confidence. The humans knew exactly who they were and what they had come for. This wasn't a plea for survival, nor was it a declaration of war. It was a statement, a proclamation. The alien fleet scrambled, unsure of what to do. They had nothing to compare to the Terran warship. The sheer size of the ship, its ancient technology still operational, was a feat none could rival. It was clear. This was no myth. The humans had returned, and they were ready to remind the galaxy of their power. The Terran fleet began its slow, deliberate approach, cutting through the darkness like a knife through soft tissue. The aliens watched, paralyzed, as their sensors picked up on the terrifying energy signatures emanating from the human warship. The very fabric of space itself seemed to distort around it, and the hum of its engines vibrated with an authority that sent chills down the spines of even the most hardened officers. With no resistance, the Terran ship made its way toward the heart of the Galactic Senate, where the highest leaders convened. The message was clear. Humanity had returned, and they had not forgotten the galaxy's dismissal of them. Resolution Aftermath. The galaxy in shock, a legend rewritten. The galaxy was forever changed in the wake of the Terran fleet's arrival. The once proud alien races who had scoffed and belittled the humans for so long now found themselves questioning everything they had known. The humans, whom they had dismissed as nothing more than a forgotten myth, had returned with a vengeance. Their presence was undeniable, their power unparalleled. The council chambers were a place of chaos. The leaders who had once mocked humanity sat in stunned silence, the weight of their arrogance crashing down upon them. The humans had rewritten the rules of the galaxy in a single, powerful stroke. A species once thought extinct had emerged from the depths of legend to reclaim their place among the stars. And as the Terran fleet drifted silently into the heart of the galaxy, the final words of their commander echoed in the vast emptiness of space. The myths were never lies, they were a warning. The galaxy would never be the same again. The Council of Denial. They laughed at the very mention of it. The galactic conquered, the greatest collection of empires, trade routes, and militaries ever assembled, sat beneath the vaulted ceilings of their marble council chamber and mocked a ghost. Humans, scoffed High Admiral Varric of the Althari Dominion. His mandibles clicked with amusement as his wings twitched in impatience. A child's tale, a story whispered to frighten cadets into discipline. Beware the humans, they say, monsters in the dark, builders of cannons that could shatter stars. Absurd. The chamber echoed with the laughter of dozens of species. Feathery mirth from the Avenari, guttural roars from the Zorak, the shrill trills of the Ilithari. No one objected. Records are inconsistent at best, added Scholar Rector Tal, the Concord's archivist. His 8 eyes blinked with cold logic. Fragments of data across forgotten colonies, mismatched timelines, no physical proof. If humans ever existed, they were primitives who extinguished themselves long before our age. The Council agreed. The so-called human war was dismissed as myth, a convenient fable passed down by ancient navies who wanted to pretend their enemies were worthy of song. Yet buried in the silence of space, the myths endured. The signal that shouldn't exist. It began at the edge of map space. A patrol fleet of the Conquered moved through the Veil expanse, a wasteland of radiation storms and dead systems that no empire had ever colonized. Their mission was routine: chart anomalies, expand trade lanes, secure borders. Then the signal came. At first the technicians ignored it. Static, ghost echoes from collapsed stars. But when the distortion repeated, when the fragments formed into something structured, they paused. "Pattern confirmed," said a communications officer aboard the cruiser Elise Vorn. Her scaled hands trembled as lines of code scrolled before her. "This isn't random." The admiral overseeing the patrol frowned. "Translate." The signal fought their decryption systems with stubborn complexity. Layers upon layers of encryption, an architecture alien to every conquered protocol. When the translation finally spat through, the words made the bridge go silent. "This is UNSC channel designation. Stand clear of restricted sectors." The admiral's frill stiffened. "UNSC, what empire claims that?" No answer came. The technicians scoured the archives. The letters repeated in half-broken fragments across forbidden records. UNSC, United Nations Space Command. An ancient name tied to the old myths, tied to humans. The admiral dismissed it with a wave. Artifacts, old code bouncing through subspace, nothing more. But unease spread through the fleet. The signal wasn't fading. It was growing stronger. The shadow at the edge of the stars. The fleet pressed deeper into the expanse, eager to locate the source. Their confidence had not wavered. "Humans do not exist," the admiral barked to his captains. "We are chasing shadows. Let this serve as a lesson to the council that myths have no place in military strategy." Then the shadow appeared. First as a distortion on their scopes, a mass where no starship should be. Then as a flicker of impossible scale, a hull shape larger than their flagship itself. The Elise Vorn's sensor strained. The data was corrupted again and again, as if the object refused to be catalogued. And then through the static, the silhouette emerged. A warship, black as the void, long, angular, brutal in design. Its lines did not shimmer with conquered elegance or decorative banners. It was practical, predatory, built with a purpose that resonated across every viewing screen: war. The fleet's laughter died. "What classification is that vessel?" whispered the admiral. None could answer. Its armor baffled scans. Its weapons arrayed themselves like the teeth of a predator, each cannon